Tesla will be returning to Western New York as they play the Artpark MainStage Theater Wednesday, August the 28th. And on the line with me is none other than vocalist Jeff Keith.
All right.
Welcome.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
So, how's the summer been going for you?
Summer's been awesome, and yeah, we're back full force to working now, and we just come and go, and right now I'm getting in some family time at home, and we leave on Friday and play in Kentucky, and then we were going to wind up on August 28th on a Wednesday and playing what you just said, the main stage at Earl W. Bridges Artpark State Park.
Yeah, so it seems like you guys had a lot of time off this summer. Was that planned? Something you guys planned?
Well, here's the good news. If we're not having that much time off, that means we're back to work, and that's a good thing because we're putting food on the table and having fun playing live shows. And we do like to have fun. That's the main thing. When people go, what do you do to have fun, Jeff? I go, no, my list says the things I do to have fun. And then it's like playing music live, riding dirt bikes, riding motorcycles, having fun, just having, fun, taking pictures, signing autographs for the fans, playing the shows, at home going, and I'm learning how to golf. My son's picked up golfing. I'm like, okay, I'm embracing that.
Yeah, that's always something fun there.
Yeah.
So, like this summer seemed like a little light for shows so far this summer. You've had a pretty easy summer going there. Do you prefer having your own shows where you can do stuff like this, or do you mind being on a package? What do you prefer?
No, it's great being on a package, say with Def Leppard or someone like that. But the ideal thing is to play to a smaller crowd, but still filling the seats up, and then we get to play for an hour and a half, because when you go out on a big show, you don't get an hour and a half. And a headlining tour, we get to do an hour and a half show. When you go out on a package, you might have 40 minutes, you might have 50 minutes, you might have an hour, I don't know, but we can fit more songs into an hour and a half. So we love them both, but in all honesty, it's better for us to do a headlining show on our own to a smaller crowd, because then we get to play 16 songs instead of 10 or 11.
Definitely. I hear your point on that. So back in the day, I'm going to take you back a little bit here, not too far, but take us back, Psychotic Supper. You guys were out on tour for a while promoting that album, and you come off the road, you make Bust a Nut, and you went back out on tour to do that album. How did you see any changes from the time you left the Psychotic Supper tour to the time you finished Bust a Nut? How did it change? What did you notice?
Well, Psychotic Supper was my favorite record, because now we made the first two records, and now it's like, well, we have a better idea of who we are, what we do, and now we're playing arenas, headlining, and we got, either Firehouse, or at some parts it was Kicks or something like that, And I might have bands mixed up, but I know Firehouse went out with us in 91, 92 for Psychotic Supper. We were headlining arenas. So, and then of course when we were on tour with Motley Crue in 1989, we recorded the acoustic, because there was 2 nights off in a row, and we went, well, let's find a club that'll let us play acoustically. We recorded that in Philadelphia. Then next that album sells 2 million records. And then we do Psychotic Supper. And so now we're headlining arenas, and then we come back, and now we're making Bust a Nut. And before we released it, we went over to Europe to do press release, and me and Brian Wheat and Tommy Skio. And that's where we were asked questions about, what do you think about the grunge movement? And we went, what? And they said, the grunge movement. And we went, don't know what you're talking about. And they go, well, it's the new thing that's coming up. And we said, well, we just write from the heart, and We never try to do the flavor of the week. We just write what's genuinely Tesla from the heart and just what's us. So a lot of people might have said, we're going to bend towards the grunge thing and try to be more grunge. And we just said, you know what? We're hair band from the 80s. We're sticking to that. And I think the fans said, you know what? A lot of people that just dressed up in the 80s, they no longer compete with the grunge movement because they were trying too hard with their dress code. We didn't do that, really. We just wore what we wanted. And so I think the grunge world said, Tesla never were concerned about how they were dressed. They also made an acoustic record live from top to bottom. And we're going to allow them to stick around. But really, what really it came down to is the fans, for Tesla fans, were still there. Because I don't care what you're trying to do or what you're trying to be, without the fans filling up the seats, that's what you got.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, you know, I think you guys were like one of the last ones out there that were still trying to keep everything going as it was. You guys made a top 20 album with Bust a Nut, and it went gold. That's something that...
See?
Yeah, exactly. That tells you a lot right there.
You know what else? 38 years later, we're still playing all those songs from all the way from 86 to 88 to 89, 90 to 91 to 94, and into the now. We made ourselves. We wrote, produced, recorded it up at a little studio by Frank's house in Pollock Pines. And then in 2008, Dave Rude joined in 2006 when Tommy Skew left the band. After we got back together in 2000, he left in 2005. We went as far as 2006 and that's where Frank found Dave Rude. And now he is a great guy. He's an awesome guy, awesome songwriter. And our first record we did with him was reel to reel, so we could have studio time with him, just doing some covers. And then in 2008, we came out with Forevermore, which is also one of my favorite records. And then we did Simplicity, I forget the order, and then we did Shock with Phil Collin. And now, at this point, after COVID and everything, we're just releasing singles because people can download them. And from what I understand, they explained it to me, because I don't go on the internet, but they explained to me, Jeffrey, in today's world, you can release a single and download for people to download, and it's just like back in the 50s, 40s, and 50s when people would put a little 45 record with a B-side.
Yep.
So from what I understand, the last two songs we released was Cold Blue Steel and then Time to Rock. And now it's all getting worked up, and I forget what the release date is for a song called All About Love. We've been playing it live, but it's going to be officially released and a limited supply on vinyl. I don't know the release date. I'm just the guy that has the pen and paper, and then after the song's written, I'm just the guy they hand the microphone to. But Brian and Frank know everything.
All right, a couple songs I just want to ask you about, because you had a big hand in writing them. I want to ask you about what I call probably the most underrated song in the whole catalog, Stir It Up. Awesome song.
Love Stir It Up. Love Stir It Up. Because now, see, everything for me is like a storyline. Somewhere along the line, somebody went, hey, man, you're selling lots of records. Can you help me with this? Can you help me do that? Can you give me some money for this? And I went, listen, everybody wants something for nothing. Yeah, they all want it for free. These days now, nothing costs you something. No telling what it could be. And that's what inspired the lyrics for that song.
Yeah, that song is just...
And see, Heaven's Trail was inspired about the second record. They go, you got to watch out for sophomore jinx. I go, hey, we're not in high school anymore. And they go, I know, but your first record did well, and a lot of people get the sophomore jinx. Well, come to find out, we write Love Song, which was our only top 10 single we've ever written. And we write songs like Heaven's Trail. There's no way out, no way out. Because everybody thinks, I'm on a slick trip. I'm always ready to kick ass. But what they don't realize is that, it's like miles away. They think we got it made, but really we're people too. We lose family members. We lose friends. Our dog now and then accidentally runs out in the street and gets run over. We stub our toe on the coffee table just like anybody else. But people just can have the conception of, you've just got it made. It's like, no, we worked hard to get there, and we're just regular people too.
Oh, yeah.
As a matter of fact, that's the beauty of Tesla, is we're just blue-collar people. We just happen to be up on stage with songs we've wrote, and people can relate to that because our audience is mostly blue-collar people.
Yep, definitely.
And anything you see Tesla doing to this day, that's why we used to say no machines, and then on the acoustic record we said all wood, because when you see us to this day, if you said they sounded great, then we were having a good night. If you go, they were a little off, we're having an off night. But here's the truth of the matter. I'm not saying who does or whatever. I'm just saying, I'm telling you who don't roll tape or now digital computer tape is Tesla. When we play live, it's all us.
And that's one thing I think a lot of people appreciate.
They do. And you know what? That's the only thing they're going to get, because we wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, I hear you on that. I'm glad you made that a point there, because, it's something that people are always talking about nowadays, about so many people are, doing that, unfortunately. And it's,
well, because people go, wow, I went and saw them, they sound like the record. It's like, wow, probably was a record. You know what I'm saying, Joseph.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But we're not, it's on a positive note.
Yeah.
We're not saying who's doing well. We're just saying, I'm telling you, Tesla plays live every night. So when people go, what are we going to get when we see you like next week? You're going to get what we give you. And that's in a nice way. I know it sounds wrong, but you're going to get what we give you. And that's the truth of it, Joseph. Yeah. And what we plan on giving you is the best we've got.
And we wouldn't want any other way.
And you know what? If people go, well, you didn't play, stir it up. It's like, well, because we have 12 staple songs that we got to play every night. If you go to a Tesla show and you're a fan that goes to multiple shows, well, there's some people just seeing a show here and there, haven't seen us since 1988. We've got to play Modern Day Cowboy. We've got to play Love Song, Signs, Little Susie, Heaven's Trail. There are 12, at least 12 staple songs we have to play every night. And then we mix it up, and Frank is good about that. He'll go, well, last year when we were here, we opened with Coming at You Live. So this year, let's open up with Lady Luck. It's like, cool. But there are at least 12 staple songs we have to play night after night, because if anybody comes and hasn't seen us for 10 years and they come and they don't hear Signs or Love Song or Modern Day Cowboy or Heaven's Trail, then they're going to go, man, I got ripped off. They didn't play at least that. And then there's people that follow us around and they go, I've heard it 100 times. And I go, I know, because you followed us to 100 shows, but every night we go to a different town. We have to play those songs for the next town.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a few people that go, I know, but I went to that town and that town, that town. It's like, wait. So you're a super fan. Just get used to hearing at least those 12 songs every night. Well, that's the truth of the matter, Joseph. Yeah. I'm being honest. And if people go, well, that's what hurts. It's like, we're not trying to hurt you. It's a matter of fact. People that are just seeing us for the first time and they haven't seen us since 15 years ago, they want to hear them songs.
Yep, I know, I hear you. All right, speaking of songs, you guys have made a lot of B-sides and songs that hide on other albums. Any idea, any thought of them making available maybe in some kind of a box set out there?
You know what? People talk about box sets and stuff, but I'll tell you one of my favorite covers we've done, and I would love to do live, but I don't know if that bucket list will ever happen, is Cotton Fields.
Ah.
When I was a little bitty baby, my mama would rock me in the cradle. Yeah, I love it. We put a little snap to it, a different little feel, and then it picks up at the end, but it's about 8 minute song.
Yeah.
Because it gets into the when I was a little bitty baby. You know, if you've heard, have you ever heard that song?
Oh yeah, yep.
I love it.
Yep, I had it on some cassette or something like that.
I think that's on, what is it? What do they call it? Tesla Gold. It's on some record where they have all them. You know, some of the covers we did. Do 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 do. Run, run, run.
Yeah, that one too. Yep.
Yeah, see, we did that, and I think it's called Tesla Gold. I don't know. Sometimes it's Tesla Replugged. It's like it's live. It's like, oh my gosh, I lose track of all that stuff. Ryan and Frank know it by heart. I'm just the guy, once again, Joseph, that they hand the microphone to and say, do what you do in that microphone. Because when they used to say, go sing in the microphone, JK, and I go, I don't claim to sing, and they go, just go do what you do in the microphone, buddy. And so I go, okay, I can do that.
All right. Well, yeah, you set us up nice for this show on next Wednesday night. Can't wait to see you guys hit that stage.
Looking forward to it in Lewiston, New York.
Definitely.
Wednesday, August 28th.
All right. Anything else you care to add before we let you go here?
Be there or be square.
There you go.
And I don't mean that in a hurtful way.